Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing the second Q&A. So yeah, this is all your questions. All your questions are amazing that you all put on that picture. I love them all. I haven't been able to answer all of them, but I've chosen quite a fair few, and a few of them are similar, so they should all kind of merge into being answered in this Q&A. So I hope you enjoy. Here they are. So the first question is, what do you eat to shred fat / gain booty? Now this is an interesting question because a lot of people ask me this, and those two goals are completely different goals, and you have to understand there's no specific food that is going to help you to shred fat and gain booty. Like, it's not as simple as that. You can't just say eat mushrooms and that'll help you lose weight and gain booty. Yeah, shredding fat is all to do with being in a calorie deficit. So if your main goal is to shred fat, you want to be eating low calorie foods. If you want to gain muscle quickly, you've got to be in a calorie surplus. So yes, they are two conflicting sort of goals. So realistically, you've got to decide which one you want to do first. If you're holding excess fat and you want to shred that really quickly, then just shred fat and then you can start kind of building muscle in a small calorie surplus or whatever. But they're two conflicting goals, and you can do both at the same time. I tend to do both at the same time, but it is super slow. So yeah, it's complicated, but basically there's no food that's going to help you shred fat and gain booty. They're two different goals, and yeah. Next question is, how many times a week do you work out glutes? We may have had this in the last video, but a lot of you guys asked me this, so I thought it would be good to answer again. This depends. I would roughly train now if I could. My optimum sort of amount of times a week would be 2 to 3 times a week, just because I tend to do kind of heavy glute days once a week or twice a week, and then I'll do like a lighter weight session with higher reps. So that's kind of how I do it, and also it depends on kind of how free I am. So my optimum would be 2 to 3 times a week, but at uni, like, I rarely even get to the gym. 4 times a week, like, would be my maximum amount of time I'd get to the gym at uni. So yeah, I end up training glutes like 1 to 2 times a week if I'm lucky. So again, it depends on kind of life in general. Next question, what's your favourite food? This is a difficult question because, to be honest, I really can't decide. I'm obsessed with food and I just like all foods, really. My favourite foods? Oh, I think it just depends on the day. Like, sometimes I really love like steak and curly fries, and then some days like I just want to eat chocolate. So I think it depends what mood I'm in for that one. Definitely curly fries though, they're like always up there. Yeah. What workouts do you feel work your glutes mainly? Good question, and this is asked a lot as well. My favourites are often the ones where I can feel the most contact and feel the most sort of strain and challenge in my glutes. That does not make sense. I can feel my glutes working the most in these workouts. Favourite used to be lunges, where you have your leg sort of back up on a stool behind you. Split leg lunge, that's the one. But I struggle so much sometimes to get the form right with that, and if you don't get it right, you're kind of working all of your quads or other areas. So that used to be my favourite, but now it's definitely curtsy lunges. I only found out about curtsy lunges recently, and usually, like, when you first start off with a movement, when you get the form right, you're like, yeah, this feels my glutes, because your glutes aren't used to it. So definitely curtsy lunges at the moment. Always hip thrusts though. If you can get the form right with hip thrusts, which I know is hard, once you get that right, always can feel that in the glutes. That's like the best glutes movement, definitely. Tips for building quads. So if you haven't tried front squats, where you like hold the bar, they're really hard. I really can't do them properly, but yeah, you hold the bar like that, and that kind of shifts the weight more to the front, and that kind of works your quads more. Also, raising your heel or using weightlifting shoes. Like, weightlifting shoes target your quads more. They're stronger, so you're able to lift more, and sort of raising your heel. So if you're squatting, like putting a plate, like a weight plate, and then putting your heel, putting the plate here and then putting your heel on. They're not going to understand what I'm on about with the hands, but yeah, basically raising your heel is going to then force more movements onto your quads. Next question is tips for reducing bloating. Yeah, bloating is so bad. I get such bad bloating, and I think if you're the type of person to eat healthy and have a healthier lifestyle, you're much more likely to suffer with bloating day to day, when you kind of... I get bloated like every night before I go to bed. I look so different from when I woke up in the morning, just because I don't know. Unless I drink like loads of water, which I do try and do, I still end up like much more bloated, which is totally normal. Like no one goes to bed looking like they did when they woke up, I don't think. I don't anyway. But yeah, so bloating is normal and I get super, super bloated. I know if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see my bloated pictures are quite different. So yeah, my first tip would obviously be drinking loads of water. Helps because when you eat carbohydrate, you retain water, your body retains water. That's what carbohydrate does. So drinking water is gonna help flush out the kind of retained water. And also coffee. 1 coffee a day is actually pretty good for your metabolism. Apparently it helps speed up your metabolism, and also it's a natural, what are they called? It's a natural, got it. It's a natural diuretic. Diuretics, the definition I just looked up is it increases production of urine, so it just basically helps you wee. So coffee is a natural diuretic and helps you pass urine to get rid of a lot of water weights. Next question is, do you drink protein shakes? I don't drink them every day. I don't think it's good to get reliant on them or think that you should drink them because you need that protein. Like, it's good to have protein, and protein shakes do provide a lot of protein, but you've got to remember that you need to be getting that amount of protein from your food anyway. So if your goal is like your body weight in grams, so like 128 grams, you should be hitting that without the protein shakes. And I know it's hard sometimes, but we've got to think about kind of an overall healthy lifestyle, and kind of using protein bars or protein shakes as replacements for protein that you could be getting from food is not good and not something that I would promote. But I do drink protein shakes and protein bars just because I love them, and it's a quick kind of source of protein for after your workouts. Next question is, how long do you exercise for? Again, this kind of depends on how busy I am / how much time I have. My optimum time would usually be 1 hour. Sometimes I'll spend like 2 hours, 3 hours, or whatever crazy amount of time when I have so much time. Like in the summer, I just go to the gym for like ever. I love those days. I tend to spend like, I can easily spend a lot longer than other people because my workouts are like heavier lifting with longer breaks. They're not like intense and quick. If I haven't got much time, obviously I will speed myself up and lower the weight and kind of do that. But what I enjoy is like trying to lift heavier with longer breaks, because I like breaks. Like between some of my squats, like I could probably have like a cup of tea and like a cake. Next question. Where were you taken on your first date? This is a difficult question because the first time we kind of like got to know each other it wasn't really a date, but that was on like, we went on like a massive car ride. The first time we kind of met, I guess. Well, we went to the same school, but the first time we kind of like spoke and got to know each other was on like a massive car ride, which lasted till like 3 a.m. So we just like, I didn't even know really like who he was, but he picked me up and we went on a massive car ride, and it was just the most interesting thing ever. Like I don't think I stopped speaking for like 6 hours. Like we generally spoke like the whole time. She was just the most interesting, funny person like I've ever met, and we had the best time ever. And basically I'm telling this story because it does link, and we stopped on that car ride at like something like 1 a.m. In the morning. We stopped and we stopped at the beach, even though it was like pitch black obviously because it was at 1 a.m. We stopped at the beach and we got out and we went to like the wall by the beach, and we like spoke and we had some like really deep chats. And anyway, basically once we'd started kind of seeing each other and he wanted to ask me out, that was when he took me on my first date, and he took me back to that place. That's why I told you that whole story. He took me back to that beach and that pier, and we had a meal like on a really nice restaurant, like looking out over where we stopped that night. And then he took me right back onto the wall, the exact place where we sat that first time when we went on the car journey, and that's where he asked me out. So that was our first date / asking out thing. We didn't really do dates. Like in between the car ride and him asking me out, we were kind of just like best friends. Like we saw each other every day and spent like every single day together, but we were just doing like stupid things, like they weren't dates, like we were just like revising together or like, I don't know, doing friendly things. So yeah, that was really long-winded and it probably bored so many of you apart from the one person that asked that question, so sorry. Next question. I absolutely love protein bars but want to get lean. Would you recommend eating these? I don't think there's anything wrong with eating protein bars. I have seen before people being like, don't eat them or whatever, but I don't think there's anything wrong with them. Personally, I love them. Sure, you've got to check for macros, like some of them take the PP a little bit and they're like similar to chocolate bar macros, so just check that one out because they're not always super healthy, but I'm quite lenient with them because I just think like a whole protein bar, like even though sometimes they're like 10 grams of fat, there's way less fat that's going to be in a chocolate bar, and I'm way more inclined to eat kind of like a whole bar like this big of chocolate rather than if I've just got one protein bar in a packet, I'll just eat that and I'll be satisfied. So they work for me and I love them. I do know they're expensive, but when I'm cutting down I love them, and at the moment I'm really into them just because I found these protein bars which are just so good and they taste like real chocolate. Next question. What songs do you listen to when working out? None. I can't listen to music when I'm working out, like when I'm lifting or like squatting or anything like that, just because I feel like I need to concentrate so much. And also before, during a back day, I tried to listen to music. It was literally recently, it was like 2 weeks ago. I put my headphones in, it was really embarrassing. I just found myself dancing like all the time because I get so zoned into my workout. I forget anyone's there. And I was like doing the pull down thing and I was like resting and I was like proper like full on like dancing and like miming the words, and oh my god, I looked up and there was like someone looking at me like, and I was like, you know what to say, yeah, like I actually did that, like just no. Yeah, so that's why I don't listen to music, because I just get so into the songs and just lose my concentration. How tall are you? 5'4". Is it true that you won't grow a booty with light weights? Realistically, it's true that you won't grow a booty with light weights. Like, you can do a lot with light weights. Like, you can pump and tone and whatever those words are, which I hate using because I don't really know what they mean. But, like, you can shape and change your booty with light weights. But I think I know to grow mass, size and all of that, like, you just do have to lift heavier weights. You have to be pushing yourself. You have to be this, like, if a boy just did 1,000,000 press-ups every day, like, he's not gonna turn out like the Incredible Hulk. He's not gonna build muscle. He's just gonna kind of replace all that fat in his arm with muscle, and it'll be super like toned. I hate that word. I don't know what it means, but like, you know what I mean by toned. You all know what I mean, I think. So yeah, he'll just be super like ripped. That's a better word, but not actually big. And that's the same with girls. Like, you can work your muscles and tone your muscles, but you're not going to build massive amounts of size unless you're lifting weights. But it doesn't work the opposite way around. Like, you have to do light weights to build size, but you also need to do heavy, so you do need to do a mixture. That's what I personally think. Next question. Are you 100% natural? No implants, no steroids, no surgery? Yeah, I am 100% natural. Yeah, that's the answer to that. I'm not going to elaborate on that. Do you have a personal trainer or nutritionalist? Nope, and I never have. My boyfriend pretty taught me everything I kind of knew up until like recently when I started at the Compound Cardiff, which I post a lot about because it's just my favourite gym in the whole world. I love it so much, and they basically taught me everything I know right now about heavy lifting. When I want new exercises or trying new things or doing different things to target different muscles, like I just go straight to the Compound, ask Calvin, the guy who works there, and he is like a knowledge bomb. Like, you just love it. So him and my boyfriend taught me everything I know. And obviously then I do a lot of research because I love it, and I follow Instagram accounts and YouTubes and all that, and like there's loads out there. So yeah, that's how I pretty much learned all my stuff. How do you know when to switch up your weight / reps / sets? Now, I don't really know what that question means as such, but I think I know what you're trying to get at. You're just trying to say, like, how do you know when to increase or decrease your weight or do more reps and do more sets? So I'm going to go with answering that. If that's not what your question is, I'm super sorry. So basically, I think, what I think is, if you're doing 10 reps, I always want to be struggling by the 10th rep. Not like, really struggling, but like, you know, you want to be challenged by the 10th rep. And also if you're doing 1 to 5 reps, you want to be challenged by the 5th rep. If I'm doing heavier weights, I'll do between 3 to 7 reps, and I always do 3 sets, pretty much 3 to 4 sets of everything. If I'm doing sort of my heaviest 1 rep max, obviously you do 1 rep max, 1 rep. And if I'm doing lighter weights, toning sessions, I'll do between 10 to 15 reps with a lighter weight. And yeah, like I said, I always do roughly 3 to 4 sets. That's it. Yeah. Next question. Does it matter when you eat carbs? Not really. Don't get too het up about it. If you want to be picky, like I tend to eat carbs in the morning because they give me energy and you're likely to use them up throughout the day. And after a workout, I think it's really important to eat carbs and protein and lots of food after a workout to fuel your muscles, fuel your recovery, fuel your build up of muscle and all that. So yeah, pretty much in the morning and after a workout is when I would most likely to eat a lot of carbs. Would you rather be stranded on an island or never work out again? Well, this is, I mean, there's not enough specified in this question, because does the island have a gym? Because if it does not, then it's a lose-lose situation. Because if I'm stranded on the island, I can't work out. And if I choose the other one, which is not working out ever again, I can't work out. So realistically, the island would have to have a gym for me to be able to pick the island. The only way for me to work out would be surely to pick the island. So it would have to have a gym. And even then, I would not pick the island. I would choose not working out. I think we covered that one. Next question. Recommendations for beginners. Watch my Fitness for Beginners video. And if you have more questions, leave them below, because I know that was kind of like I obviously couldn't cover everything in that video. So that was kind of just a quick outline of some things that I thought would be helpful. But if you have any more questions, like specific ones, just chuck them below and I'll see if I can answer them. How do you get enough protein with intuitive eating? So intuitive eating, I just tend to try and eat as much protein as I can, because that roughly adds up to the right amount of protein that I should be doing. I try and eat protein in every meal, and I make sure I include some high protein things in my day, like steak or chicken or veg, like broccoli, like that's high in protein. So a tuna, that's super high in protein. So yeah, including high protein things in your day and just making sure you eat bits of protein in every meal. I think that will get you enough protein roughly for your day. What do you eat before and after glute workouts, and is that different to any other training days? I eat basically carbs and lots of food after all my workouts, because that's just what I tend to do. And I'll do that on every sort of muscle day. Whenever I've gone to the gym, I'll make sure I'm eating a lot after my workouts. When you first started your fitness journey, was this the type of body you were going for? No, definitely not. Like, I just wanted to be skinny as I could when I first started, so that's definitely completely different. As I wasn't even focused on developing muscle really. I started to develop muscle and I loved it. I completely changed my my view and opinion on like body shapes and things like that. I think a muscular, like strong woman is just gorgeous and lovely. So no, I did not want to be muscular when I first started. Next question. This is what the question said. How old are you? Brackets. I'm 20 years old. I'm a 20-year-old uni student, and to see that you're so toned makes me think I could be too. Tips on going to the gym alone. I don't have anyone at my local gym and I don't feel confident in what I'm doing. Hello. I'm 20 years old too, and I'm also a uni student, so we are the same, and I'm really happy that you look at me and think that you could be like this too, because you totally can. Like, if I can do it, anyone can do it. Seriously. Yeah, going to the gym alone is hard. Like, I've always had my boyfriend to go with, but when we went to different gyms, we go to different gyms at uni. Like, at the first I did find that a little bit difficult, a little bit intimidating, but the confidence that I've gained from being in the gym for so long now, like, I literally don't care about anything. I literally fall flat on my face doing a squat. I literally don't care. I just get back up and do it again. Like, I just think life's way too short to care about that. But yeah, I'd say if you are kind of just starting out at the gym and you're kind of going alone and a bit scared, focus on a couple of movements that you want to do. YouTube them, look at the form, maybe write some things down, write some notes, or look at some videos while you're in the gym, and just focus on doing a couple of movements each session. Don't overwhelm yourself with kind of being like, I need to do everything that's in the gym right now, use all the machines. Don't do that. Just focus on a couple of movements at a time. Try and nail a couple of movements, and over the weeks and months, like, you'll have targeted the whole gym, like, in a while. Go over to, like, machines, see what the machine's called, because they should have names on them. Go to YouTube it. There's so much information out there on, like, how to do things, and work your way around. Like, I know it's scary and I know it's horrible when you don't know how to use something, or it looks different to the one on the YouTube video, and just but also you can ask someone at the gym, like, they'll be happy to help, and also just don't give a foofy hoofy about what anybody has to say, or anyone staring or laughing, or honestly, I think I've had it all. I've had laughing, pointing, staring, talking, all of that, and it gets pretty old after a while and you start to not care. Tips for bulking with a small appetite. Eat little and often, work hard in the gym, and eat after working out. That's it. How much water do you drink in a day? Loads. I drink as much as I possibly can. Maybe like 2 litres, 3 litres some days. It's a lot of water, but I love water and I love keeping myself hydrated, and I've just gotten used to it now. Like, I just drink that much. Obviously I didn't just start drinking 2 litres or 3 litres a day. Like, you need to work yourself up into it because your bladder is not ready for that shiz. Fave thing about winter. I love the weather. I love it being cold. I love snuggling up and being cozy and watching films, and I love Christmas. I love the Christmas trees. I love the lights. I love everything. Christmas clothes, Christmas coats, winter coats. Do you meal prep? Nope. I always fancy different things. I try meal prep all the time, and then I meal prep for the next day, and then I don't actually want that meal the next day, so I'm just a bit of a fail when it comes to meal prep. How long do you wait after training to get protein in? I don't do specific timings with stuff like that. I just eat like a pig after my workouts, and that's pretty much it. I don't feel like there's any specific timings that are needed. Like, don't focus on stuff like that. Just focus on eating and training and you'll be fine. Do your legs have fat, squishy bits even though they're muscular? When relaxed, yes, definitely. But when I tense, they're pretty sturdy. I don't know whether you can see this, but like, if I tense my leg like this, like, hold this tight, like, you can see it doesn't really jiggle that much. Okay, next question is cutting. She's just written, cutting. What to eat? How often? Is it normal to be hungry? How many complex carbs should I be eating? Okay, so this question is way too specific, as in, cutting is easier than you think. Cutting is just being in a calorie deficit, but it's got to be something that you can maintain, and that if you're too hungry, it means your calorie deficit is probably too low. So just reduce your just have a small calorie deficit. Hungry also, it depends on what you're eating. If you're kind of just filling all your calories with sort of not filling foods, then yeah, you're probably going to be hungry. But if you're filling it with like loads of proteins, and like a whole tin of tuna is only 114 calories. That's so sad that I know the exact number, but it's so filling. So you've got to make good food decisions to keep yourself full. Also, the more you go to the gym, the more hungry I get. So if I'm cutting and I've just done a massive session at the gym, a couple of hours later I will be starving, and even if I've used up all my calories, I will eat, because if you're hungry, it means you don't have enough, you're not going to have enough sort of food to be fueling your muscles. So I'm one for putting my muscles first over my sort of cuttingness. So I always eat if I'm starving because I've worked out. If I'm starving because I've eaten donuts all day, I'm not going to eat more or whatever. But if it's because I've worked out and I've, you know, challenged my body, then I'll keep eating. So the last question is, where do you train in Cardiff? And I train at the Compound Cardiff. I'll put the name, Instagram below here. I love it with a passion. It's my favourite gym in the whole world. It's just like a big weightlifting playground, and it's so much fun. And from like the videos and stuff, loads of people say it kind of seems intimidating, not as scary as it seems, and that's where I train. So that's that question. And I'm gonna stop rambling now because this video is so long and I'm so sorry. But that's all my questions for today. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope they were helpful. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram or Snapchat if you haven't already, and don't forget to subscribe if you're new. I have so many more videos coming in the new year. I'm going to focus more on YouTube just because I love YouTube. I love making YouTube videos. I find it, I find making YouTube videos so fun, and I know a lot of you have been asking me for more, and I haven't done many. Sorry. So I will be doing more in the new year. So I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for everything, and I will see you in the next video, if not before, on Instagram or Snapchat.